Hi VC, it's Aaron, Mitha Alamere. Today I'm counting down my top 10 new records of 2022. So these are just either vinyl records or CDs or cassettes that I bought this year that are released in this year. So that could be live albums, it could be cover albums, it could be all new material, but they have to be released this year and not reissued. So fresh material from this year, even if it's live and the songs are old, is still from this year, or cover songs. So I got a couple of those in here. And, it was a really good year for music. I didn't buy all the really great ones this year, though. So, there's a few essential hard rock metal albums I didn't get this year yet, so they're not on here. So if you notice they're not on here, that's why. Or they didn't quite make the cut. So first off, I've got 3 EPs that came out this year I'm going to do separately, and I really love all 3 of these EPs. I'm not ranking them, they're just all amazing. All 3 of these EPs are awesome. And the first one here is All Sinners, and this is Roger Schneider from Purchase Street Records, and he's the drummer, and this is his band, Massachusetts band, EP. Awesome. I'm really loving this album. I've been listening to it nonstop. The Hunted, Buried Alive, Believer, Rise Up, and Rise Up, the beginning of that song is now JC from the Flip Side. That's his intro music, so that'll kind of give you an idea of what it sounds like. But this is an awesome album, All Sinners. I highly recommend anyone that likes hard rock and metal to check this out. Killer album. Next up is a VC Members EP, and this is one of my favorite instrumental EPs I've ever heard. Josh Keech, Warrior in the Clouds. And Josh Keech, of course, has a YouTube channel. Really great guy from over in the UK. And I've become friends with him. And this EP rocks. He shreds on the guitar. It's got all different sounds. He's a metal guy, but it's got a little grunge in there, a little bit of thrash, just straight metal. Amazing EP. And I'm going to play both of those EPs on coming up Tipsy Tuesdays because I really love both of these. This is all instrumental. Josh Keech. Go sub Josh up. He's a great guy, too. So Josh Keech, and it's one of my 3 favorite EPs of the year. And then my last one here is, of course, the Kirk Hammett Portals. And this blew me away. I didn't know what I was going to expect when I got this. And it is way better than I thought it would be. Really atmospheric at times, really heavy at times. Doesn't really sound like Metallica, but it's a great album. And just some of the riffs are killer in it too. And Maiden and the Monster, The Gin, High Plains Drifter, The Incantation, 4 songs. Amazing instrumental EP. So 2 amazing instrumental EPs this year, which were Kirk Hammett with Portals and Josh Keech with Walk in the Clouds. And then check out All Sinners too. And Roger from Purchase Street Records. It's an awesome album. I'm listening to it nonstop, I'm telling you. So both those EPs will be coming up on Tipsy Tuesdays in the next month or 2. So now for my top 10 of the year. And this will be a little different than most people's. This one here, my number 10, and it's a covers album, but it's just so good. Dirk Schneider, and this is My Way, and he put this out on Record Store Day, and man, is it good. Of course, he's a singer from Accept, and this album is, it's just so good. The Alex Harvey band, Faith Healer, starts out with that, and it just rocks. Man, his voice sounds so good on this stuff. Man on the Silver Mountain by Rainbow with Udo singing, it's just so different and cool. Man, it's just so good. Rock and Roll from Led Zeppelin. It's got The Stroke from Billy Squier on here, really cool version. Paint It Black. TNT from AC/DC. So many other songs. A double record. And I was really surprised how good this was. I was expecting it to be pretty good, and it blew me away. So all of these top 10 are just albums I absolutely love. Not just I love all these. And this one, really good. Dirk Schneider, number 10. Number 9, now this is a live album, and this is one of my favorite thrash bands, and during the pandemic, they recorded a bunch of songs, so it doesn't have an audience, but it feels like a studio album, and it's called Death Angel, The Bastard Tracks. What an awesome album, another double album, and this is a bunch of songs from their previous albums, but re-recorded live, and it's songs that weren't big hits. Not that they had big hits, but kind of deep tracks. So it's really cool. It starts out with Lord of Hate, killer song from the Killing Season. Why You Do This is on here, and The Organization. Some of their early songs. It's got a lot of their later songs too. Faded Remains Alive and Screaming. Guilty of Innocence is on here. So good sounding. Mark Osegatis has never sounded better. The band sounds great. Awesome. If you get a chance, check this one out. One of my favorite releases of the year. It's my number 9. And number 8, and this is my third album I have by this supergroup, The Dead Daisies with Radiance. And my good friend Gary from Physical Format Rock and Roll sent this to me as a VCLT, and it blew me away. Absolutely, it's right up there with my favorite Dead Daisy records. I absolutely love this album. I think I like the John Corabi album, the Let It Burn. I think that's my favorite, but just by a hair over this one. And the one right before it's excellent too. Glenn Hughes on vocals, and he's in his 70s and sounds amazing. It's just awesome. And it's just what a really good supergroup, the Dead Daisies. Awesome album. And here's another supergroup coming in at number 7. And this is Second Skin from Iconic. And Iconic blew me away too. This came from JC from the Flip Side. And man, it's got Joe Hoekstra on it, Michael Sweet, Tommy Alders is on this, Nathan James, but there's 2 singers. I think Nathan James is the main singer, and then Michael Sweet will like come in with his vocals and just mixes so good. This is an awesome album. If you've never heard of Iconic, check this out. Second Skin, amazing release. It's my number 7 of 2022. At number 6, and I've seen this on a few people's list, and this is maybe my favorite record by this band. It's just so good. It's called Impera from Ghost, and I love this album. Call Me Little Sunshine, one of my favorite songs of the year. Absolutely love that song. This whole album is killer. Just absolutely it's my favorite Ghost record, I think. I've got like every one of them except for the first one on vinyl, and this one is the one I listen to the most. It is just so good. I'm really, really happy with this release. Excellent record from Ghost. Okay, at number 5, and I got a couple just on CD, and this one was never released on vinyl, and this is Jizzy Pearl's Love Hate, Hell California. And Jizzy Pearl is the lead singer from the band Love Hate, who were real popular in the early 90s. They had Blackout in the Red Room, Wasted in America, Let's Rumble. And this album harkens back to those 3 albums. It just sounds like it's a continuation of those. So good. Jizzy Pearl just sounds awesome on the vocals. And it's a really, really good. If you like those Love Hate records, check this out. It's right up there with their first 3. Excellent, excellent record. Blew me away. My number 5 of the year. Love Hate. Number 4, one of my very favorite bands of all time. And this is a great release. One of their best releases they've had in years. Although their last one was really good too. It's called The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead from Megadeth. And what a killer record. My number 4 album of the year. Dave Mustaine just keeps on churning out amazing records. And, you know, We'll Be Back, that last song just has that killer hook and just killer riffs in it, man. But every song in this is good. I even like the song with Ice-T. That's really cool. Life in Hell's killer. This is just an awesome record. It's one of Megadeth's best in the last decade. It's just amazing. Maybe their best. Dystopia was right up there with it. I love the United Abominations, but this is just, I'm so happy with it they put that album out. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, and it just blows me away every time I hear it. Number 4. At number 3, and this is an old band from late 80s, early 90s. I was always into them, but their last 2 records are maybe their best records they've ever done. And this is Rad Wings of Destiny from Ugly Kid Joe. What an awesome album this is. And they just keep getting better. That Whitfield Crane sounds awesome. He's just so good. It's still got Klaus Eichstadt, I think is his name, and Dave Fortman. Those were original members, so it's got 3 original members still. This album, if you like Ugly Kid Joe at all, you'll love this. They got more bluesy and a little heavy. Just awesome songs, great playing. What a great album. Rad Wings of Destiny from Ugly Kid Joe, my number 3. Number 2, and I'm waiting for this to come out on vinyl. It's coming out this in January. I picked it up on cassette and CD, and I'm waiting for my vinyl. When it comes out on vinyl, it'll be on a Tipsy Tuesday. My number 2 album of the year is Fatal Moon from Leather Duchess. And of course, they put out their debut album a couple years ago, and it's amazing. This one I think is even better. And what's really cool on this is they do a cool version of Sleeping in the Fire from the Wasp. And it's not anything like the Wasp song. It's a little more subdued, but it's really good. Awesome cover. I wasn't expecting that at all. It blew me away. But this whole album just kicks ass. And it's a continuation of their last album, which I love. But this album I think is even better. As soon as I get it on vinyl, it's coming your way. You'll be hearing it. It's really good. Awesome record. And I really love the Wasp cover. And I was like, covering Wasp, that's going to be hard. But they pull it off really well. Leather Duchess, number 2. And that leaves, of course, my number one, and anyone that knows me knows what it's going to be. This is Sunrise on Slaughter Beach from Clutch. To me, this is the best record Clutch has put out since Blast Tyrant, and I think 2000, when, I don't know, 2002 or so that was out. But this album is, it's like just over 35 minutes, really brief, concise, punches you in the face. Every song is good. No filler. They don't have filler anyway, but there's really no filler on this. It is just really good. Red Alert, Boss, the Metal Zone, that first song is really killer. Mountain of Bone, it has this really moody guitar in it. I love it so much. Nosferatu Madre is killer. Mercy Brown, man, that song when I'm drinking almost puts me in tears. I mean, it's just so good. Oh, Mercy Brown, check out that song. We Strive for Excellence. Of course, my friend JC loves that song too. It's just so catchy and the lyrics are so great. Of course, Neil Fallon, the lyric maestro, and they have Tim Sult on the guitar, who is the riff master of the 2000s. The 90s, he took over from Tony Iommi as being the new riff master in rock music. Skeletons on Mars, another great one. Three Golden Horns, oh my God, I love that song. And Jackhammer Our Names, what an amazing record. Number one is Clutch. So there we go, that's my top 10 records, plus 3 killer EPs from 2022. I know I haven't been putting out a lot of videos lately. I'm working on a series from the 80s of my top records from the 80s that aren't hard rock and metal. It's taken me a lot of time because I'm going back through and re-listening to a bunch of them. I wasn't going to do that, but then I started pulling them and I started listening to a couple. And a couple I thought I would be really high on my list. I thought, this isn't as good as I remember. A couple I didn't like, I didn't think were that good, were like blowing me away. So now I got to rethink my whole strategy here. I've been re-listening to a lot of them, and it's taken me a while, but I will be coming with that series soon. I'll have my Tipsy Tuesdays out, maybe another video here and there. Everyone have a great day. I will see you next time, and check out all 10 of those records and those 3 EPs. Have a good one.